Have you ever felt like giving up on English, maybe after a mistake or when progress felt too slow?
Or do you wish you had that inner strength to push through, even when lessons get tough or you feel awkward speaking?
If you're nodding yes, then this episode is your game changer. Today, we're not just talking about English. We're unlocking the mindset that transforms your entire learning journey and helps you speak English with real confidence.
Stick around, because we're sharing powerful, actionable tools that build mental resilience, not just for life, but specifically for mastering English. This isn't just about grammar. It's about building an unstoppable mind so you can finally achieve your English dreams. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Talk English podcast, your ultimate guide to not just learning English, but truly mastering it and leveling up your life along the way. I'm John.
And I'm Sarah. We're so incredibly glad you're joining us today for an episode that we believe will fundamentally change how you approach learning English and honestly how you approach challenges in general. It's pretty exciting.
Last week I had one of those truly chaotic days. My internet cut out right in the middle of an online English class I was teaching. Then my new vocabulary app crashed and lost all my progress. For a second, I just wanted to throw my hands up and say, why me?
Oh, I totally get that, John. Wow. We've all been there. Whether it's a bad day at work or feeling stuck with a tricky English grammar point. It's so easy to feel defeated, right? But what if those moments aren't setbacks, but rather powerful opportunities?
Exactly. That's the kind of power we're diving into today. Mental strength. Not your ability to lift weights or memorize every single idiom, but the inner fortitude that keeps you going when life, or English learning, throws you a curveball. It's the ability to stay calm, stay focused, and keep moving forward.
So, if you've ever felt like you crumble too easily when learning English, or you're tired of second-guessing yourself every time you try to speak, and you're ready to finally show up with more calm, more focus, and real power in your English journey, then this episode is absolutely for you.
We're going to break down 8 powerful tools that will help you build a mindset so strong. Not only will your English improve dramatically, but people around you will start to notice that quiet confidence. They might not be able to put it into words, but they'll really feel that amazing energy radiating from you, you know?
And here's some fantastic news for all our amazing English learners. While you're building this incredible mental strength, you can also grab our free downloadable PDF for this episode. It includes all the key ideas, practical exercises, and even some comprehension questions to boost your English. The link is right there in the description. Make sure you grab it after the episode.
And please, stick around till the very end, because our amazing vocabulary expert, Alex, is back with his vocabulary breakdown. He'll go over some of the more advanced words and phrases we use today, explaining them in simple, clear terms. So even if something sounds tricky right now, don't worry. He'll make it crystal clear for you.
All right, are you ready to transform your mind and your English? Let's jump right in.
We're starting with the first and arguably most powerful shift, the mindset that changes everything. If there's one thing that truly separates mentally strong English learners from the rest, it's this. They don't expect their English journey to be easy.
Not even a little bit. This is crucial, John. Many beginners get discouraged because they think learning a new language should be smooth sailing, like fluent in a month. But the strongest learners, they expect the bumps, the plateaus, the days when words just won't come out right. Oh, absolutely.
Exactly. They prepare for setbacks. They don't just hope for the best, they mentally condition themselves for challenges. And most importantly, they train for them. It's like an athlete training for a marathon, you know? They don't expect the race to be easy, they expect it to be hard, and they train specifically for that difficulty.
It reminds me of when people say, "Why is this grammar rule so confusing for me?" The mentally strong English learners flip that script entirely. They ask, "Okay, what is this confusion teaching me? How can I break this down?" They treat every struggle like a targeted training session for their brain. It's brilliant.
And honestly, if your mind never gets pushed out of its comfort zone, how do you expect your English to grow, right? Think about it like going to the gym. You don't get stronger by lifting feathers. You grow by adding resistance, by feeling the burn, the pressure. That's where your physical strength is built, you know?
Life, and by extension, English learning, works the same way. It's a mental gym. Every awkward conversation, every misunderstood sentence, every challenging listening exercise is a weight you either choose to lift or collapse under. It's really about that choice.
And when you flip that internal switch in your head where discomfort equals growth, it's a total game changer, for sure. Because now, instead of running from hard moments, like trying to speak with a native speaker for the first time, you lean into them. You actually use them as fuel for your progress, right? Wow.
Absolutely. And for our English learners specifically, this mindset is everything. If you're only speaking English when you're 100% confident, you're not building anything new. You're staying in your comfort zone. But if you speak when you're unsure, when your words stumble, when you feel a little awkward, or even when you mispronounce something, that is your mental rep. That's where the magic happens.
Totally. Growth truly lives in those awkward pauses and forgotten words. It's perfectly okay to struggle. In fact, struggling is the proof that you're doing the work, that you're pushing your boundaries. So don't avoid discomfort. Walk right into it because that's where the real learning happens, you know?
All right. So now that your mindset is in the right place, understanding that challenge is part of the journey, let's talk about the next piece, struggles. And listen, struggles are absolutely unavoidable in life, and certainly in learning a complex language like English. It's just how it is.
Oh, this part is so real because struggles can either burn you down or forge you into something stronger, you know? It entirely depends on how you respond to them. I always think of fire. It can destroy a forest, or it can be used to forge a sword, creating something incredibly strong and resilient. It's like wild how that works.
That's exactly what struggle is. It's fire, and you either run from it or you choose to walk through it, allowing it to transform you and come out tougher on the other side. Let's take a famous example, David Goggins. Wow, what a guy.
For those who don't know him, this guy was overweight, depressed, working a dead-end job. One day he watches a Navy SEAL documentary and something just clicks inside him. He decides, I'm going to turn my life around and become a Navy SEAL. It's pretty incredible.
But here's the kicker. He had to lose over 100 pounds in 3 months just to qualify for training. 3 months? That sounds unreal. Impossible for most people. I mean, who does that?
And instead of saying, this is impossible, he just went for it. He woke up at 4:00 a.m., ran miles, trained like a machine, pushing his body and mind to their absolute limits. Was it painful? Heck yes, every single day. Did he want to quit? Probably every single minute, I bet.
But he didn't. Because he knew deep down that struggle doesn't break you. Struggle builds strength. And now, he's one of the toughest endurance athletes in the world, renowned for his incredible mental fortitude. His story proves that your limits, your real limits, are mostly in your head. It's powerful stuff.
For English learners, this applies directly. Every time you freeze mid-sentence because you can't find the right word, every time you're misunderstood or you mispronounce something, don't take that as a sign to back off and hide. Don't do it.
Take it as a rep. You're lifting through the struggle and it is actively building you. It's forging your English skills, making them stronger, more natural. Fail forward. That's the key. Your mistakes are not signs of weakness. They are proof that you're in the arena, actively participating, not just watching from the sidelines. It's truly transformative.
Keep going. Speak through the discomfort. Every time you push past that internal voice telling you to stop, you're building a stronger, more resilient English-speaking self. You really are.
You know, John, as we talk about building this mental strength, a big part of it is consistent exposure and active listening.
Absolutely, Sarah. And for anyone looking to supercharge their listening skills and truly understand spoken English, we've got just the thing.
Head over to the Talk English podcast channel right now and check out our video. Learn English listening fast vertical bar, best way to start listening for beginners. Just click the link popping up above or find it in the description. It's packed with actionable strategies to train your ear and really boost your comprehension. Don't miss it.
Okay, now let's flip the lens. We've talked about what to build, a resilient mindset, and embracing struggle. Now let's talk about what to cut out. Because real strength isn't just about what you do, it's also about what you stop doing.
And there are 3 big habits that quietly, subtly eat away at your mental power and hold back your English progress. They are complaining, chasing comfort, and making excuses.
Those are dangerous and they feel harmless at first, right? Like complaining. It feels good in the moment. It's a release, a way to vent frustration, but it does absolutely nothing to move you forward.
It keeps you focused on the problem, not the solution. And honestly, it's a habit that silently steals your energy. If you're always complaining about how hard English is or how slow your progress is, you're draining your own motivation, you know?
And comfort is another one. It's incredibly addictive. We naturally choose the easier path, the shorter route, the one that demands less from us. But growth, true growth, is allergic to comfort.
I mean, you don't build a strong body lying on the couch. Same with your mind, and especially with your language skills. Strength lives outside the comfort zone. If you only practice English when it feels easy, you'll never truly improve.
And then there are excuses. That's the softest pillow of all. I don't have time. I'm not good at this. I'll start tomorrow. These are phrases that keep you stuck. They feel like truth, but they're actually self-imposed limitations in disguise.
Especially for English learners. Don't say, "I'm bad at English." That's an excuse that limits you. Instead, say, "I'm still learning." That one word, still, it's a small shift, but it opens a huge door. It acknowledges progress and potential.
Yeah, change your language, and you fundamentally change your path. Speak from where you're going, from your aspirations, not from where you're stuck. Mentally strong people don't wait for perfect conditions. They create their own momentum.
So, if you catch yourself complaining about English or choosing the easy way out, like always using your native language when you could be trying English, or stacking up excuses for not practicing pause, recognize those patterns, then consciously replace those patterns. Choose action, choose strength.
Yes! And that brings us to one of my favorite parts, daily habits. Because mental strength, and certainly English fluency, isn't built in a single breakthrough moment or one epic study session.
It's built through small, often boring, sometimes uncomfortable things you do every single day, you know? Mental toughness isn't a switch you can just flip. It's a system you build. It's showing up when you don't feel like it, doing things that push you, things that test your consistency.
And yeah, it's uncomfortable, because it's supposed to be. Let's throw a few examples out there, both for life and English. Cold showers, oh man, they are not fun. But that moment when the cold water hits and your brain screams, "Get out," and you stay, that's discipline, that's control.
Totally. And it's not just about the shower itself. It's about training yourself to lean into discomfort, to override that instant gratification impulse. Exercise is another one. If your body's weak, your mind tends to follow. But when you move, when you push through physical resistance, you're telling your brain, "I can handle challenge."
And let's not forget meditation. Look, I used to think meditation was just for super calm Zen people. But actually, it's a mental boot camp. You're not just sitting there, you're actively training focus. You're teaching your brain to breathe instead of react impulsively.
Love that. And here's a crucial micro tip for our English learners. Try this. Record a short voice memo in English every single day. It can be messy, imperfect. You can talk about your day, your thoughts, anything at all for just 60 seconds.
But that tiny habit, done consistently, builds confidence and fluency in ways textbooks simply can't. It's uncomfortable at first, but it's a powerful daily rep for your speaking muscles and your mental resilience.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean when I say discipline is your mental armor. People might not see it on the outside, but it's there, silently protecting you. And when life throws chaos at you, or when you face a challenging English conversation, that armor protects you from falling apart.
Oh, now this one. This one hits hard, Sarah, because let's be real, we've all lost it at some point, you know? That moment where someone says the wrong thing, or your English plans fall apart, or you get a low score on a test and boom, your emotions just, they take over.
Oh yeah, been there far too many times. That surge of anger, frustration, or overwhelming anxiety. But here's the thing. Strong minds don't let emotions drive the car. They pause, they breathe, and then they respond.
That pause, that's the magic. It's the tiny yet powerful space between a stimulus and your response. Someone insults you in English, or you feel totally overwhelmed by a complex sentence, or, you experience acute fear of public speaking. You feel that rush, anger, fear, stress.
And instead of reacting impulsively, perhaps shutting down, or saying something you regret, or simply freezing up, you breathe. You count to 5. You regain control. Because emotions are like waves. They rise, they crash, but they also pass.
If you surf them blindly, letting them carry you wherever they want, you get wiped out. But if you learn to swim through them, to acknowledge them without letting them control you, that's immense power. It's conscious control.
Beautiful metaphor, John. And for our English learners, this is incredibly practical. Next time you feel nervous while speaking, or frustrated with a pronunciation issue, or overwhelmed by a fast talk or pause, don't rush your words. Take a deep breath. Slow down your pace.
It makes a huge difference, both for your brain, allowing it to process, and for your pronunciation, making it clearer. Speaking slowly and intentionally under pressure, in any language, that's a skill. It's emotional control and language control rolled into one powerful ability.
All right, time to talk about everyone's least favorite word, failure. But here's what most people don't realize. Failure isn't the enemy, it's the teacher. And it shows up in your English journey precisely because it wants to grow you.
Yes, and yet so many people run from it. They hide after they fail a test, or they stop practicing after a bad conversation. Or worse, they let it define them, saying, "I'm just not good at English."
But the strongest people, especially the most successful language learners, they treat failure like feedback. It's basically growth, wearing a slightly rude, uncomfortable outfit.
Ha! I love that, Sarah. Failure is feedback dressed in disappointment. It absolutely doesn't feel good in the moment, but it's so necessary, you know? Every successful person you admire, every fluent English speaker you look up to, they've failed more times than most people have even tried.
That's the thing. If you failed recently in your English learning, maybe you tried a new phrase and it came out wrong, or you forgot a word in the middle of a sentence. Good. That means you're in the game. You're not sitting on the sidelines. You are learning.
And English learners, please hear this loud and clear. If you mispronounce a word, or use the wrong tense, or make any kind of mistake, don't freeze. Don't apologize excessively. Don't get discouraged.
Instead, smile, correct yourself gracefully, and keep going. Own the moment. That's not just confidence, that's monumental growth.
Yes, reframe every slip-up as a lesson, as valuable data for your brain. When you do that, failure stops being scary. It becomes something you actively use to level up your English skills.
And that leads us right into this next crucial piece, attitude. Because mental strength isn't just about how you train your mind. It's also, about how you show up when life or your English learning throws a curveball.
And trust me, it will throw curveballs. Mentally strong people, they don't fall apart when life gets messy. They don't panic. They certainly don't play the victim, right? They pause, they assess the situation, and then they respond thoughtfully.
It's about maintaining calm in the chaos. It's like they become grounded even when the ground beneath them is shaking violently.
I love that. Really? It's like being a mountain instead of a leaf. The wind might blow like crazy, unexpected things might hit you out of nowhere, but you don't get swept away. You stay rooted, still, unshakable.
And it's not about pretending everything's fine or burying your head in the sand. It's about not letting your raw emotions or external circumstances control your mindset, You choose your response. That's where real deep strength lies.
And here's a simple, yet incredibly powerful way to start shifting your attitude, especially for English learners. Instead of asking that draining question, "Why can't I speak like a native yet?" Or "Why is my progress so slow?" Try a different question, really.
Ask, "What's one small thing I can do today to speak better?" Boom! That little shift from a victim mindset to a proactive problem-solving mindset creates immediate forward movement, Absolutely.
Exactly. Don't make it about elusive perfection. Make it about consistent progress. That attitude, that "I'll figure it out" mindset, is what keeps you growing, no matter how unpredictable life or your English journey gets. So, yeah.
All right, our final powerful point. And honestly, John, this one is the glue that holds everything we've talked about together. Ready for it? Discipline beats motivation every single time.
Yes, motivation is great when it's there. Don't get me wrong, it gets you excited, it helps you start. But it's like a spark. It gets you hyped for a moment, but then it inevitably fades.
Discipline. That's your firewood. That's what keeps the flame alive, steadily burning, even when you're tired, grumpy, uninspired, or just don't feel like studying English.
Totally. There are going to be days when you won't feel like doing your English workout, or studying that new grammar point, or working on that speaking practice you said you'd finish. But discipline whispers, do it anyway.
And when you listen to that whisper and you act on it consistently, that's when things truly start to shift. And you don't need to go big. Small daily actions are incredibly powerful.
Set a fixed English routine. Even just 10 or 15 minutes a day of focused practice adds up exponentially. One focused session a day is so much better than trying to cram 3 hours once a month.
Right? We often overestimate what we can do in a day and dramatically underestimate what we can accomplish in a year of small, daily, consistent action.
Discipline compounds. It builds habits, and those habits build your future, both in life and in your English proficiency. So stop waiting for the perfect moment or a sudden burst of motivation. There isn't one, really.
Start now, start messy, start small, just start and don't stop. Because once you build that muscle of discipline, you don't have to chase motivation. You become consistent, you know?
And that consistency, that quiet, relentless daily effort, that's what makes you unstoppable in your English journey and in anything else you set your mind to.
And speaking of building up, our fantastic vocabulary expert, Alex, is here to help you grow your English vocabulary too.
Yep, it's time for the vocabulary breakdown. Alex is going to explain a few key words and phrases from today's talk. Simple, quick, and super useful for your English learning. All right, Alex, take it away.
Hey everyone, it's Alex. Let's quickly go over some powerful words and phrases from today's episode. These are great for both your English and your mindset. Ready? Let's jump in. Chaos, meaning complete confusion or disorder. Example, the classroom turned to chaos when the teacher stepped out. Crumble, meaning to fall apart physically or emotionally, to break down. Example, she tried to stay strong, but she crumbled under the pressure. Void, meaning an empty space or a feeling of emptiness. Example, after he moved away, she felt a void in her daily life. Resistance, meaning opposition or pushback, the act of refusing to accept something. Example, there was strong resistance to the new policy from the employees. Collapse, meaning to fall down or break apart suddenly, often due to weakness or pressure. Example, the old bridge collapsed after the heavy rain. Forge, meaning to create or shape something, often through great effort or struggle. Example, they forged a strong friendship over years of teamwork and challenges. Endurance, meaning the ability to keep going despite pain, fatigue, or difficulty over a long period. Example, running a marathon takes serious endurance. Arena, meaning a place of competition, intense activity, or public display. Example, she entered the business arena with big ideas and a lot of courage. Sidelines, meaning the edge of an activity, being an observer rather than a participant. Example, he watched from the sidelines instead of participating in the debate.
Thank you, Alex. Those were absolutely spot on and incredibly useful.
And honestly, if you're listening to this and thinking, wow, I've got a lot to work on with my mindset and my English, that's great news. That means you're ready. You're ready for real change.
And hey, if today's episode really hit home and you found these 8 tools empowering, don't forget to grab your free downloadable PDF from the description. It's specifically designed to help you practice today's exercises and internalize these key points for your English journey.
We're so incredibly glad you joined us today on the Talk English podcast. Your presence means the world to us. If you found value in this episode, please do us a huge favor. Share this episode with just one person you know who needs a little boost in their English confidence or overall mental strength.
And if you haven't already, please take a moment right now to hit that like button on this video and subscribe to the Talk English podcast channel. It helps us reach more learners like you and create even more valuable content. Your support makes a real difference.
We've got so much more coming your way to help you not just learn English, but truly live it with confidence and power.
Until next time, stay strong, stay consistent, and keep leaping forward in your English journey. We'll see you next time right here on the Talk English podcast.
Your progress doesn't end here. To continue advancing your English skills and build an even stronger foundation, make sure to check out our video. Stop wasting time learning English vertical bar, best podcast for English beginners.
Just click the link you see on the screen now or find it in the description. It's the perfect next step for anyone looking to optimize their learning and make every minute count.